Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor. The ANC in Gauteng is united and ready to hold its leadership conference. But can the party win highly contested Gauteng next year? Our guest later today is ANC Gauteng Secretary Hope Mangwana-Papo. After that discussion, we will give you, as usual, our winner and loser of the week. But first, last week we interviewed former head of the Johannesburg Roads Agency, Dr. Sean Phillips, and he recounted a story of corruption and political apathy in one of Joburg's key institutions. One of the people he named is Sipho Tshabalala, the chairman of the Johannesburg Roads Agency, who allegedly told Phillips to consult him on which companies were awarded government tenders. Our guest now is JRA Head, Sipho Tshabalala. Mr. Tshabalala, welcome to the show. You want to have a right of reply, you're getting it. Why did you want to come on the Justice Factor after Dr. Sean Phillips said, when you started in your job, you sat down with him in his office and said, please, all tenders I want to be involved in?
Thank you for the opportunity, Justice. I am telling you now, it is not true. I did not go to Dr. Phillips' office and ask him to tell me when he's awarding tenders. This space of tenders is very highly regulated. We are guided by the Municipal Finance Act, which really prevents for such. And not only that, we've got capable staff at JRA. There's 3 bid committees that adjudicate up to the award. And Dr. Phillips himself, as an MD, is not allowed to sit in any of those committees. And just to add, Justice, after an award has been done, it is audited by our internal auditor. And also, the AG also audits our tenders.
If you say that there are appropriate structures to award tenders to do all this, can I then ask you why you yourself began a process to start a project management unit that took over the functions of awarding tenders from a unit that already existed within the JRA?
Justice, that's a very good question. The PMU is not in existence as yet. And the PMU...
Is it will it be in existence?
We are still doing a study. What we have done, we saw a need because at JRA we've got issues. We cannot exhaust our budget. We're not able to monitor our projects. We're not having enough staff. There's a lack of staff. Now, what we have done, we've looked at the previous years.
Mr. Tshabalala, you had a unit led by Mr. Mpokau. Mr. Mpokau, an experienced roads engineer, was running this unit. Why didn't you say, perhaps we need to beef up this unit? Instead, you start a parallel unit that many people would say actually was set up to award these tenders away from the normal channels.
Mr. Malala, please give me a chance to give you facts, because Dr. Phillips was given enough time to give his views.
Thank you
very much for that. The department that you're talking about is ID. It's got nothing to do with the awarding of tenders. Now, what I'm saying to you is that the PMU would assist in the planning, firstly for planning, and the structure of the PMU, it's got nothing to do with the awarding of tenders. It has to do with project management, hence it says PMU. And we did look at the previous years. JRA did have PMOs. Now we want to use the same, but now we're calling PMU. And that is purely for monitoring because there is no capacity. I'll make an example. We've got project managers under that department that Mr. Kau headed, but there is not enough staff to be able to monitor the projects. Hence, some of the projects delayed, they're not finished in time. As we speak now, we've got a backlog, a huge backlog in terms of potholes. But what have we done as the board? Because we are the board that really do our job in terms of the oversight. We've come up with a strategy, including jointly with management, to make sure that we fight the issue of potholes. We have, for the very first time at JRA, employed or contracted 79 contractors, level 1 and level 2, to make sure that the roads are clear. I know, Justice, when you drive on the roads, it affects you. as much as it affects me as well. It pains me when I see a pothole. So I must make it a point that the potholes are looked after. Hence, we appointed so many. You drive around Johannesburg now, you will see there's a difference. Opposed to what happened before. When Herman Mashaba, the mayor, declared war on potholes, only one contractor was given a contract. Instead of opening the scope and give other companies, especially the small companies, so that they are able and take ownership, because you're taking this to the townships, to the communities. Let the communities be there and work and have pride. Make sure that whatever they're doing, it's going to work. They're going to own it and protect it.
Mr. Tshabalala, can I stop you there? Let me ask you this. Why didn't you give an instruction to your executive management and say, guys, from now on, we're going to open up the space. We want to see black, upcoming, young entrepreneurs who can do the work, doing the work, whether it's in Soweto, whether it's in Shawela, whether it's in Parkview or Parktown or wherever. Instead of doing that, you set up a parallel structure, the PMU, that is doing exactly the same thing as Mpokau's department. Mr. Kau left the JRA on the basis of the setting up of the PMU.
Mr. Kau left just when his contract was about to expire. And as you know, the executives' contracts, they last for 5 years. So it was about to expire. But let me come back to your question. We do have a desk of the MMEs, of the SSMMEs, but we did not come up with a parallel structure. The PMU, we are still doing a need analysis. It is not yet functional.
Okay.
It is still at that stage where it's needs analysis. And they found that we've engaged professionals to make sure Deloitte is doing the study. If you want any answers in terms of that, go to Deloitte and say, JRA says there's a PMU they want to have, and what are you basing it on?
Okay.
Do you recommend it for JRA or not? And the need analysis from Deloitte professionals.
Okay,
it
let me
states
ask you a question.
There is a need for the PMU.
hear you.
So the
I want
PMU
to
is
ask
not
you
yet
now-
in
I want to
existence.
ask you now
We will
about-
have the PMU or after we've got all the needs analysis and we know the financial implications, because it is very important that the purse of the community or the purse of the nation is well looked after. We don't want to come up with a structure and then we just put money there out of the PMU. After it has been, we have received the full study.
Okay.
Then, based on that,
to
we will
address
see
a very serious allegation against you. Karen Mills was the company secretary at the JRA. She raised concerns first to the board, then to the audit committee, then to the board again about lack of governance, poor governance, misgovernance at the JRA, including the fact that the allegation that you wanted an office and a PA at the JRA, although you're non-exec, and others. After nothing happened, she went and made a protected disclosure, a submission to the head of forensics, and that ended up in your hands. Do you realize that having that report is illegal in terms of the Protected Disclosures Act?
Which report are you talking about? Having which report?
Her submission saying that I have concerns about 1, 2, 3, 4, after which your board got, you then suspended her.
Let me tell you, Karen Mills was not suspended basis on the non-disclosure. Number one, she did raise the concerns, and the concerns were raised through the Independent Audit Committee. The Independent Committee.
If I remember, she came to the board twice.
She came to the board with allegations, and it's on record where she apologizes. She said, Chairperson, I am apologizing for allegations that I've made. We can make that public because our minutes are public.
I look forward to getting the minutes, but I want to understand why, if she was guilty of anything, why did you pay her 10 months' pay and let her make her sign that she won't talk about this anymore?
I did not say that she was guilty of anything. The conclusion, the contract came to an end. It was a negotiated agreement between Karen Mills, lawyers, and Karen Mills. And I just want also to put on record.
No, but you're an open person. You're an open
I am
person.
I'm very open.
Why
I'm very open. There is a confidentiality clause. If you want to see that, let's talk to Karen Mills' lawyers to give us an opportunity to give it. I am saying, I'm challenging you and the media to say, any media who want to see our books, who want to see the whole process, because remember, Karen Mills, she is a lawyer herself, and she was fully and legally represented throughout the process. So this confidentiality, it's between JRA's lawyers and her lawyers. Yeah. If you give us an opportunity, we can make an order.
Let me ask you one straight question, Mr. Tshabalala. Did you get the submission that Karen Mills made to Mr. Shadrach Sibia of the forensic unit of the Johannesburg City Council?
Yes, we did get.
Do you realize that is illegal?
It is not illegal, because the way we got it, it was given. It has to do with Karen Mills, because Karen Mills was too negligent. She left it
How did you get that report, that submission by Karen Mills?
We got that through Karen Mills' negligence by leaving it unattended to at the photocopy machine, and one of the staff members brought it to our attention, said, "Board, here's your document." They thought it's our document. We had a look at it.
And you used it to fire her?
We never used it for. Karen Mills has never been fired. Let's put on record.
You suspended her for 6 months. When you realized that she was not guilty, then you went to her and paid her 10 months salary.
Mr. Malala, I asked for an opportunity to give you facts.
Sure.
Karen Mills was not fired. Karen Mills was suspended due to insubordination. It is on record. For insubordination, hence she was suspended. And throughout the suspension, she was fully legally represented. So she had all the rights. If it was non-disclosure, she would have taken us to task. She did not do that because she knew very well, as a legal person, she has legal background. There is no way that she could have left us with that.
Isn't it an amazing thing that someone is a whistleblower, makes a submission, and happens to be suspended for insubordination at the same time as her submission is legally found by the photocopying machine?
Unfortunately, she was not suspended at the same time. This is just, it happened at different occasions. It is not true. She was not suspended. Let's put it on record. And Justice, I just want to challenge you to come to JRA. Let's open up.
I will do so. Mr. Tshabalala, we've run out of time. I apologize. Thanks so much for coming through.
I really appreciate for offering me the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Can the ANC hold on to power in Gauteng in 2019? Stay with us as we speak to Hope Papa of the ANC.